Patrick Infante here. And I just wanted to take a few moments to just briefly discuss the sky replacement feature in Photoshop 2021. Not a tutorial on using it, just a quick overview, and then I want to show you how you can add some of your own skies. And I also want to make available to you some sky type that I've created that you can certainly have and use to your liking. So again, it's Adobe Photoshop 2021 is where the feature was introduced. The particular version that I'm using here is 22.0.1, which I believe is one update since the original release. And although the original release did include it as well. So I want to use this image here. Nothing special about it, just an image I captured in New Hampshire this past October. But it's got a fair amount of sky, and it would be a good way to just demonstrate the sky replacement and an additional sky and skies that I've used or created, and how they how you can do the same thing. So let's work on this image here. Let me just make it full screen. Let's duplicate the layer by doing a Command or Control J, and what we see here is just a large sky area between these two mountains. And the way to access the sky replacement tool is simply to go to Edit, go down to Sky Replacement, and the window's going to open up. Now, what you're seeing down here is it's since the preview's on, it's trying to build that preview. It could take a little bit of time depending on how fast or slow your computer is. But what I've done here, what you're seeing here, is actually some skies that I've created with birds in there. So if you look at the previous sky, which is the original sky that was present when I captured the image, and again I switch back to the preview, you can see how easily the sky's been replaced. There's also adjustments for how it affects the foreground so it looks more natural. And again, this is not a tutorial on how to use the sky replacement tool. It's basically to show you how to add your own skies, and also I want to provide some options to you as well, some things that I've created. So when you want to replace the sky, you have this, you hit this sky down arrow, and you get all these various thumbnails of the skies that typically come with Photoshop 2021. There's blue skies, and these different folders. There's spectacular, there's sunsets, some additional skies that I've acquired. And again, they're very easy to implement, as you can see. Somewhat very dramatic. But what I did most recently is I created this folder called Skies with Birds. So instead of just having that original sky that we had, I wanted to add a sky with some birds in it. So I would select that sky, and so be it. There's 3 birds. I have some other versions that I've uploaded as well that has additional birds in it, and those can be seen as well as I select these different sky replacements. You can also use the move tool, and this is highlighted up here, and you can take the sky and you can move it around, and you want to position the birds a little bit closer, bring some more birds in from the top. Notice how great it does. Notice those birds and everything are all behind the trees, so it's really defined the sky very well. It's complicated mass, not so complicated here as much, except somewhat here around the tree, but it'll do fairly complicated sky replacements fairly easily, and that's what I've seen so far. But here's the thing you can do. You can, once you open up the panel with the sky replacements, what you can do is, let me just close these folders here. Alrighty, close that one. We'll close this one here. All right, so they're all closed up. Again, I created this skies with birds. But let me just show you how I did that and how you can do that. So with none of the skies selected, if you select the sky and create a new folder, it's going to be a subfolder of these particular folders. If you select no skies by clicking away here and you hit the folder icon, you will get a opportunity to name your folder with your skies. And I'm just going to call it new skies. Okay, and this is just for demonstration purposes since I already have my skies with birds loaded in its own folder. Now, I've created that group, that folder, all right, and what you do now is you would come down to hit the plus sign. It'll open up Finder. I'm on a Mac. I guess it would open up Explorer on a Windows PC. And from there, you can choose which images you would like to use as skies in your library of sky images. The thing is, I have 15 different bird skies here, as I call them. What you can't do is you can't select multiples. So right now I'm trying to select, holding the Command key, or I'm going down here hitting Shift, and you can't pull in a whole bunch. You can only pull in one at a time. So that's maybe one downside. It's going to take a little bit of work. So basically what would happen is, again, let me go back to Finder, highlight that, hit Open, or you can simply just double click it. All right, it'll come up. It'll show you a window. You can rename it. It pulls in the file name at that point in time. You can call it something else if you wanted. We'll call it new one just to make it different. Click OK. It'll import that sky. And now it appears here in your new skies folder. I want another one, hit plus. This time, just for demonstration purposes, I will choose sky number 9. I'll just double click it. It'll come up, choose the file name. I click OK. And notice that it's part of the new skies group. Okay. So what we can do at this point is, if I wanted to select this sky, now one thing happened here is this became, because I didn't have the sky selected, it put it at the top. So you know what, let me just can that one there. And this is how you delete a sky. And let me just make sure I have my new skies folder selected now that I've created it. I hit the plus sign, and let me just pick sky 7 right now. I'll just double click that. Keep the name, again for demonstration purposes, and it saves the sky in my new skies folder. Now I can simply go in and then I can choose these skies to use. You could have, this is a, you can see it's different. It's a 3-bird sky. You can select this one here. There's many more birds. And again, let me just go back to the 3-bird sky here. Let me click away here, get rid of the selections. Move tool is by default selected, and again, I can move it around. Actually, it's more than 3. So I pull it down. You can see that it's many more. I can make them go nicely around that tree. You can also play with some of the other tools here as far as the shift tool, and you can actually make some changes as far as what's happening around the edges of the new sky. You can also use the fade tool and adjust how it fades into the remaining part of the image. All right. But again, the main objective here was to show you how you can add your own skies to the sky replacement tool. Demonstrate the fact that you have to pull them in one at a time. And again, you can go out and shoot your own skies. You can take stock images. Really, the sky's the limit on on what you can do with the sky replacement tool and how you want to create your own library as well. So now, let me just click OK on this. Also, too, you'll notice that if you haven't used the tool before, you'll notice that the skies, both the foreground and the sky itself, have now created new layers that are actually part of the sky replacement group, and that's being all done behind the scenes for you. And you can play with those. Again, this is not a tutorial to go into that, but you can play around with the foreground independently if you wanted to after the fact, and you have lots of options there. All right, so I hope this was somewhat helpful. Just a casual discussion about sky replacement. I do want to let you know that in the description, I'm going to put a link to all 15 of the bird skies that I've created. And these are actually images that I took. They're not stock images. But you can have all the 15 sky images. You can use them at will. And you know how to load them into your own library of Photoshop skies. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I will post some contact information again in the comments, along with the link to the files with the skies. Again, thanks for watching. Hope it helped. And perhaps we will be able to meet again in the future. Thanks. Take care. Bye.